Every artist goes through many evolutions throughout their career, oftentimes driven by a hit single or breakout album, and Alter Bridge is no different. So in this video, I'm gonna share my top 5 career-defining songs that transformed the band and serve as landmarks in the band's history. First up is the leading single and title track of Alter Bridge's most recent album, Pawns and Kings. Now, when I tell you I was ecstatic when this song dropped, that is probably the understatement of a lifetime. I literally called into work sick on the day it dropped just so I could listen to the song and share my reactions with all of you. I was immediately obsessed, and it got me so excited for the upcoming record. Pawns and Kings was my first record where I was heavily involved in the online Alter Bridge community, and it seemed like every 20 minutes or so, there were new posts about the new song, predictions for the album, and so much more. I loved being surrounded by the buzz of a new single, and it jumped to being one of my most streamed songs on Spotify within days. From what I could tell, it seemed like much of the fan base had similar experiences, and the release of Pawns and Kings brought fan excitement to a whole new level, and I bet that's not going away anytime soon. The new album brought in tons of new fans, showing Alter Bridge's growing popularity across the world, which can only mean bigger shows and more successful album releases in the future. That all started with the one-ton punch of a song, Pawns and Kings, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Taking fourth is a song that may come as a surprise to some folks, especially since it's rarely made an appearance on this channel. I think Pay No Mind, the first promotional single released for Walk the Sky, had a pretty significant impact for Alter Bridge, but not exclusively a positive one. Obviously, the cat was out of the bag leading into this album that things were going to be different. Mark had already stated that he'd channeled John Carpenter-esque synthwave for the album, but no one truly knew what that would entail until this song dropped, as the first commercial single released, Wouldn't You Rather, was pretty in line with past Alter Bridge songs. However, Pay No Mind was something entirely different and gave fans a glimpse of what was to come with the new record. Lots of people were extremely excited, like they were for every single album prior, though there were some people who felt like the band was diverging from what had made them great in the past, and that this album would be a letdown. Ultimately, I think we can all agree that there's something on Walk the Sky for everyone, even if you're not a huge fan of the stylistic choices made. But the fact that this album was so divisive marks a pretty significant point in the band's history. Some people jumped ship, others held on for dear life, and even more climbed aboard for what would most definitely be a new era for Alter Bridge, which all started with Pay No Mind. Before we keep going, let's take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Vibes. If you've watched my channel before, you know just how important it is to have proper hearing protection, and that there really is no better option than Vibes. They're reusable, super cheap, and designed to reduce the volume of loud live music to a safer and more comfortable level without muffling the sound. The clear, low-profile design makes them very easy to wear in public, and they come with 3 sizes of interchangeable ear tips to ensure a comfortable fit for any sized ear. Hundreds of thousands of people around the world trust Vibes, from hobbyist guitar players and professional orchestras to bouncers in clubs and roadies on stages. And if you want to pick up a pair for yourself, use promo code CC15OFF for 15% off your order at discovervibes.com. Using that code also supports this channel, so thank you to anyone who has ordered or is planning to in the future. Now, back to the video. This next one is a two-parter, as it not only refers to when this specific song was released, but also a specific performance of the song. I'm of course referring to Words Darker Than Their Wings from the 2000 record AB3. It's quite uncommon that you find a band with not one, but 2 capable vocalists and guitarists, but obviously we're quite spoiled with Alter Bridge. Prior to this song, people had suspicions that Mark was more than just a talented guitarist, but he'd only sang background vocals with Creed and Alter Bridge up to this point. Then out comes AB3, and what's this? A song with Mark on lead vocals in addition to Miles? And Mark sounds fantastic too? I can only imagine how mind-blowing this must have been hearing it for the first time, and I wish that I could travel back in time to when I first heard this song and experience that moment for myself again. This song opened the door for Mark to show off his voice on even more songs going forward, including on his solo albums and his Charity Sinatra covers project. But remember, this one is a two-parter. Jumping ahead to 2017 when this song was performed at the Royal Albert Hall, Alter Bridge fans were transported to a new level of appreciation for Miles fucking Kennedy. That man hit one of the highest notes he's ever recorded live during an exhausting 2-hour-long concert, and he sounded incredible. I really think that's when I went from being just a fan of Alter Bridge to flat out obsessed. And there's no going back at this point. I still get chills every time I watch that performance, and I imagine that's the case for many others as well. Words Darker Than Their Wings is a textbook case of both delayed and instant gratification, as it started great, but has only gotten better with age. But there are still a couple of other songs that have made a bigger impact on Alter Bridge's career. Speaking of, let's move on to number 2. Taking the runner-up spot is the OG Alter Bridge epic, Blackbird. At the beginning of their career, Alter Bridge was still trying to figure out their new style and shake off the stigma of Creed. And many would argue that they successfully did so with the release of their second album, Blackbird. Not only was this their first record with Miles contributing guitars, and their first album after leaving Wind Up, but it also featured their longest song to date, a title that it would hold for 15 years. This song, also named Blackbird, set the precedent for extended, expressive songs with these massive guitar solos and vocal parts, something that would become a staple of Alter Bridge's music going forward. Like, let's be honest, you can't have Alter Bridge without Blackbird. It just wouldn't be the same. Despite its complexity and length, this song has become a regular for live performances, and many people argue that it's the best song the band has ever written. Some people even argue that it's the best song any band has ever written, and it's received so many accolades by guitar critics and publications across the years. If Alter Bridge had never written Blackbird, I don't know if we ever would have received other great epics such as Fortress, Words Darker Than Their Wings, The Last Hero, Fable of the Silent Sun, and so many more. For that reason, Blackbird has got to be one of the most influential songs when it comes to Alter Bridge's career. But I still think that there is one more that had an even bigger impact. But before I reveal my pick, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content just like this. Finally, it should come as no surprise to anyone when I say that Metalingus is hands down the most transformative song in Alter Bridge's entire career. Let's put this into perspective. In the modern day, social media can make a song or artist go viral practically overnight, bringing them thousands of new fans that might never have come across them otherwise. But that hasn't always been the case, and at the start of Alter Bridge's career, social media was nothing compared to what it is now. However, they experienced a similar effect through WWE when the wrestler Edge chose Metalingus as his intro song. Suddenly, thousands of people, both in the stadiums and on TV, were being exposed to this new artist at every single show. But it's not like Edge was single-handedly responsible for the band's success. Metalingus is a straight-up banger of a track, and it elevated Edge as much as he did Alter Bridge. Metalingus was just the perfect song for the championship wrestler to adopt as his intro, and the mutually beneficial relationship that resulted catapulted Alter Bridge to success, giving them the much-needed fan base and support to get through a very risky contract buyout after One Day Remains. There is no doubt in my mind that this song and the resulting partnership with WWE has had the single biggest impact on Alter Bridge's career. So those were my picks for the top 5 career-defining moments for Alter Bridge, but obviously there are many more to choose from, so let me know yours down in the comments. If you want to learn more about the dense history of Alter Bridge and their side projects and learn some pretty crazy stories that only a few people know about, check out this video where I broke down the entire Alter Bridge iceberg from top to bottom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.